So back in 2015, I was invited to tag along on an event called the Rally Historico Transpeninsular. Now, originally I was going to be driving my 1962 Austin Healey in this race, but it actually had gotten cut off a few weeks ahead of time, and then last minute Pedro, the organizer, requested that anyone who could bring a car to race could come, but at that time my car wasn't prepped because we stopped working on it. The event kicked off at a car show, which was pretty well attended. We had a lot of cars, and I was actually very excited because I thought we had a lot of racers that were there to take part in this race. The Rally Historico Transpeninsular was a very ambitious idea. It was a over-the-road rally from Tijuana to Cabo San Lucas on the Pan American Highway. The event went late into the night. Everyone had a great time, and the next day, all the racers were going to gather to take off from the hotel. So the next morning, I wake up at the Hotel Lucerna in Tijuana to find we have an MGA, a Studebaker, and a Porsche 914. And those are the only cars that have actually entered in the race. All the rest of the cars were just show cars. So I was a little confused. I thought we'd have more vehicles for this race, but it was lightly attended. Now, one of the sponsors of this race was a local club, which some were describing as a brothel, and allegedly the flag girls were ladies of the night. I don't know how true that is, but that's at least what the locals were telling us. So this wasn't really what you consider a normal race like the Mil Miglia or any of these other type of races where classic cars are heading across the country and it's a very organized thing. These three cars pulled out into morning rush hour traffic in Tijuana and had to basically navigate on public roads. Now, it was originally promoted that there were going to be closed down high-speed sections where people could actually go full bore, but in reality, they were just hoping that there were no cops around to catch them driving full bore. The overall plan was to just make it as far as you can and bribe any police that may happen to pull you over. Drivers would make their way onto the toll road, and then we'd split up from there where they would take off to some backcountry roads where they could let their cars run a little more freely. How's the first stage gone so far?
Pretty wild. I gotta say the Tijuana drivers are pretty courteous. We were coming up in the fast lane and for the most part they move right over for us. We're gonna have to watch our speed though.
Just about an hour and a half in, Chris, the driver of the Studebaker, suffered a catastrophic engine failure, ending his race early. Thankfully, the GoPro happened to be on his car at the time.
Extinguisher. Something just, I don't know what the f. How do you need gloves? Get your gloves. Get your gloves. It's gonna be hot. Here, babe. Gloves.
Honey.
I mean, is it hot? Because here's gloves.
I don't know what the f.
Yeah, what the f.
I think it was the tranny. I think it's a gear vendor or something.
Tranny, motherfucker. Here, baby.
Okay, there's nothing on fire here.
Okay.
Oh, there is. Get the fire extinguisher. Here, that's all. Hold this, please. Hold this, please.
Watch out, and watch out.
Hold the pin.
Watch out, Cabo.
We got another fire extinguisher? Yeah.
Listen,
thing's fucking
okay, that one's going. There we go.
No.
Honey, let's
Hold
get
this,
this.
hold this.
Let's
Yeah.
get the roof off. Can we pull it off? Thank you.
You're good. That's it. You don't want more powder if you don't need it.
Okay, great.
What was on fire? You blew the engine. I got more fire here.
Okay, I mean, and this is why we needed to test the fucking car.
Yeah, fucking didn't get on it.
I just burnt myself too, but not too bad.
Okay, reach Gustavo, tell him what's going on. Fuck, well, I think it's a tranny though. Something fucking. It's locked
After
up.
the fire had been subdued, Chris waited for his chase vehicle to come back to pick him up and tow him to catch up to the rest of the drivers who were pulled over just outside of Ensenada.
Chris put a f***ing hole in the block like this big. Rod in, everything. Piston. He was in front of us. He took off on me in one of the straights. He just took off. And then I got right behind him and started, kind of pulling into him, reeling in. And then I see, little strips of oil. I saw something and it wasn't bugs. So I kind of let off, and all of a sudden I see smoke, and as soon as I start touching the brake, it just boom. It literally just went boom. I heard it. I was like, and then fire all over, smoke. So I stopped almost right behind him, and he was carrying so much momentum that he came over the hill, and he had nowhere to park, and then all of a sudden he saw the opening. And when he tries to turn, the rear end locks up. So he just spun it. Yeah. Sí, no, se le loqueó justo ahí. So he, and then I parked right next to him, and I'll just see fire coming out from both ends of the car. So we rushed, and he pulled his, and I pulled mine, and that was it.
The extinguishers.
So, yeah.
Are they okay?
Yeah, Chris is fine. The wife was a little bit,
Get your gloves. Get your gloves.
Or something.
What the?
We left as soon as we got the car on the trailer, all secure, and that's when we left.
So
They're coming back. Yeah.
We all waited for a while for Chris and the truck to arrive. Pedro offered to have him continue the race on a motorcycle, but he opted to head down to his house.
Just went by. I'm glad we didn't need an ambulance today. So that's really a good thing. I mean, if you can glean anything that, feels positive about today, we didn't get hurt. But we were finally getting our sea legs in that car. And we took it up to about 135, 140. It was handling great on the turns. And I mean, we were settling in to the speed and the beauty of that car and the scenery. And all of a sudden, Chris just says, "Baby, hold on." And the car, I could feel it kind of locking up. He was, applying brakes, and we felt heat, but we didn't see any fire. But the guys behind us said that they saw smoke, and then they saw flames shooting out of each side of the car, the guys that were behind us. And luckily there was a turnout that we would have, if we didn't have a turnout, we would have been stopped in the middle of the road. We would have just, braked it to a stop, but instead we kind of slid off into the side, and then he said, get out of the car. And I see smoke, I see fire, I jump out, my helmet's attached, and so luckily Gustavo and Jim were behind us. They jumped out with their fire extinguisher. Our fire extinguisher didn't work. We we opened the hood. There were flames, and our fire extinguisher didn't work. Theirs did, thank goodness. And then when the flames went out, we started picking up the pieces, and they were really hot. Gloves work, which was also a good thing, a positive thing. Yeah.
Chris had decided not to join us on the rest of the trip and crash at his house in Mexico, while the rest of us followed the MGA and the 914 as we continued to head south towards Cabo San Lucas. We had a scheduled stop at one of the sponsors, where again more models came to pose with the vehicles. Chris followed along to this stop, probably because there was free beer. Not too much further down the road, the MGA had a problem, overheating and suffering through the high temperatures of Baja, California's interior was too much for the little MGA. After some quick roadside repairs, the MGA was back in the game. I'm out here in the middle of the desert. Gustavo's car has not come by. Pedro went to look for him, and I am now out here by myself in the middle of nowhere. I have one extra camera and one bottle of water, and hopefully they don't crash and die and leave me out here, because that's gonna really suck. Okay, so now I'm walking to go find out what happened to the Porsche team and Pedro. I'm in the middle of the Baja, California desert, hundreds of miles from anywhere except for a hotel, which isn't that far that way. So I'm gonna head back that way because there's only one road, so hopefully I'll run into one of them. I did not, had to walk back to the hotel. The 914 was now having problems. The last of our mighty vehicles that had started this trip. The reason why I was walking back to the hotel was Gustavo's car had also had problems and was sitting on the side of the road while I made my way back to the hotel on foot. Back on the road, the 914 was our only running race car left. Stopping for repairs was now a regular occurrence, but because he was the only one running the race, he technically was in the lead. Bad gasoline from a shady roadside stand had put the 914 up on blocks once again, and the team decided the best way to remedy this was draining the entire tank and buying more gasoline from a shady roadside stand. At this point, we were all determined to at least finish this race with one of these cars.
Shooting after
Another stop at one of the rally sponsors, this time with one lonely car, Gustavo Bogo's 914. while we were stopped, we might as well make some more repairs. This time, a new fuel pump.
And we're having the greatest time of our lives all together with the
The final day we took to the mountains with our 914 running perfectly in that final home stretch. You do have to look out for the cows. You do have to look out for the cows. In the end, it really wasn't a race. The Rally Historico Transpeninsular became a rally where the group of us that was left, that was following this along, decided to just enjoy the time, enjoy some roadside food, and drive all the way to Cabo San Lucas so we could simply load the 914 up in a trailer and drive straight back to Tijuana. Pedro never really got the Rally Historico timing right. They had a couple more attempts, but it never really grew to what it should have been and what it could have been. A wild, ruckus time from Tijuana to Cabo San Lucas. Basically the Baja 1000, but on pavement. But, no matter how it turned out, it was an incredible adventure that I'll never forget.